Alright, welcome back. Now, in this lesson, we're going to start working on the actual feet. And it seems to me that in mech stuff, there's a time-honored tradition of actually hiding what the foot actually is made up of by by putting some armor plates where all the workings are, which makes sense. This prime means of locomotion. You want to kind of cover that up. So I am going to uphold that fine tradition. I'm going to bring in, again, this is just our big mesh here that is just a plain old starting point for our mesh extraction. And I'm just going to start working on some of these beginning foot parts here. Okay, so I'm going to look at it from this top angle. I want to kind of create this this foot area, and I'm going to just duplicate this so I can work on another version without messing up the original. So I'm going to grab this guy, and I'm just going to go to my H polish brush, and I'm going to start basically squaring off this a little bit, or squaring this off, and then doing the same thing here. Let's actually, before I do all that, let's isolate some of this because this is getting a little bit too tough to find. Let's go to my select lasso here and Control Shift Alt. Even though that was supposed to be the lasso, let's try this again. There we go. Control Shift Alt. Yeah, and I'll just actually do it the opposite way here. Let's just do Control and Shift, and let's just keep this part and make everything else go away. That makes more sense. Let's go to my H polish brush. I'm so used to using that to hide things, and the obvious use of using it to actually show things was lost on me. So I'm going to use the polish brush here and basically just knock this back, give myself a bit of a sharp angled piece here that can be the basis for our foot part. Okay, just square this up a little bit, and let's grab our move brush here. I'm just going to pull this out. I want this to flare out. Go back to my H polish, clean this up a little bit. Alright, and we'll obviously do some tweaking with our clip brushes once we extract this, but I just want to give myself a nice opening here. And let's draw ourselves out a mask. So I'm just going to zoom in here a little bit, go to my mask tool. I'm going to go to my mask pen. I'm asking for it. Sometimes the mask pen, of course, requires me to draw straight lines, but we're going to try it anyway. So we're going to mask this out. Go from the side view here and make sure we mask out what we want. I'm not being overly careful here. I'm just going to block out the mask and then lasso the masked parts that I don't want out. So okay, I'm going to go to my mask curve brush here. Control Alt, click and drag. It's going the wrong way. Move this back this way here. Control Alt, get rid of that. Control Alt. Wrong way. Control Alt. Once again, I do the Control Shift thing when I mean to do the Control Alt. It's just what I do. All right, so we have a little bit of it doesn't quite work here. So let's Control Shift, Control Alt. I'm sorry. Once again, there we go. Okay, so we have a nice little piece here that we can use as our extraction. I think everything is good to go here. Let's zoom in. Let's go to our extract. Let's make the thickness. We'll try that. That's not good. You see here how we have a little bit of weirdness. Let's see if we can fix that. Control Alt and maybe just notch that back a little bit. Let's see if that will work for us. Extract. Yeah, I think we can work with that. Okay, so that's actually the thickness I'm looking for too. So that's pretty good. So we'll accept that. And let's select this guy. Get rid of that mask. Now I'll start clipping a little bit. So we'll go to the side here. Actually, let me check the frame we have going on. All right, let's do groups loops real fast, and we'll smooth it out a touch. And let's just do some clipping. So clip brush, clip curve, Control Shift, clip, And of course, let's put this in position and hold down Alt so it goes the opposite way. Alright, and let's do the same thing from the side here. Try and get a good angle. Control Shift, click. Go that way. There's a little bit of a curve going on there, so maybe I want to get rid of that, get rid of more of that. So let's just get rid of that. And do a little same thing here. Alrighty, let's polish this a little bit here to kind of get rid of some of the artifacts we have going on. Not too shabby. Alright, so we have a good starting point here. Now I can, if I want to, I can go in here and use my H polish brush to just tighten up these corners a little bit. And what I'll use these for, I'll have these Z-sphere tubes kind of just tuck underneath them. Like so wherever the vital connections are that we're looking at here, they're far too vital for us to actually see them. Alright, so let's move this here, and let's just find out exactly where I want this to go. Maybe I'll slide this down a little bit. I want to have another one right underneath of it as kind of like a kind of a nestled version of this. See, I want to have one right here as well, and we'll kind of attach that little knob to the top of it. Okay, so that's what I want to do. Now the easiest way, of course, is just to duplicate this and just scale it down a little bit. So let's just see if that works for us. Sometimes if you want to do that kind of nestling thing, that straight duplication might not be the best way to go. But I think for this actually worked pretty well. At least it looks like it so far. I'll slide this over, and you can see we have some weirdness down there, but we'll do some cleanup of that later on. At least I will. I'm not going to make you have to watch that. You just go through and clip it off, and mess with the mesh a little bit. All right, so let's bring this up. And for something like this, it's possible that you might want to almost raise this up a little bit to kind of bring up the I'm going to tempt fate here. I mean, really tempt fate by trying to do that. So let's go. I'm going to mask off. Let's go to my mask lasso tool here. I'm going to mask off these sides. I'm going to blur that mask a little bit. And what I want to do is just bring this up. I want to go to my move brush here and just kind of raise this up a little bit here in the middle. Kind of give it an incline so that it has, I'll push this in with the H polish brush and give it more of a corner. But I want this to feel like it's got something going on here. I can kind of tuck in the what's that thing called? The tube underneath. So let me just pull this up a little bit more here from the side view. Then again, you can just go through with your H polish brush or your trim brushes and just, make this look a little bit better. The cool part is, like, I don't want this to be perfectly sharp angle because, that's one of the things that actually gives away CG as being, CG. It's the angles are too perfect, and in the real world that's not really the case. So it's not a bad idea to have these little less than perfect connections, which is, of course, very convenient for me because virtually everything I do is less than perfect. I'm going to choose to wear that as a badge of honor. It helps with realism. All right. So this is the idea here. I'm going to probably do the same thing, duplicate these, and rotate them around to the other sides for the back, for the two sides, I should say. The back is a little bit different, so we'll do that together. But I'm going to duplicate these around, and in the next lesson we're going to add this kind of the talon here at the end, and also start thinking about how we're going to connect it to the back toe. The back toe is a very different kind of thing. If you see here, that's not the one. There, let's see if we can find him. There he is. The back toe is different. It's kind of the bigger one, and this is it's kind of the big deal. So, like I said, we're not going to make this a tube. I think that's kind of a dumb idea at this point. But I think a little hinge joint would be kind of cool. So, in the next video, we're going to work on the talon here. I'll spend the time in between, kind of just duplicating these two guys and bringing them over to the two sides, and getting these connections started. So next video, we're going to do the claws.